Bruce and I are here to discuss our Radio Plays podcast. We wanted to maintain the engagement of our members, our audience, and also our actors who are all, just biting at the bit to get back in and do things. Unfortunately, as everyone's aware that it's very difficult to have live performances with actors close together, with having an audience with the appropriate size, and also to make it financial affordable. So what we decided to do is do some podcasts of radio theater. So more of the, the 40, 50s kind of gather around the radio, but now you're gathering around your devices, whether it's your iPad, your phone, or laptop. But we're planning to run 4 plays that are 30 minutes in length. When we announced this, there was great enthusiasm for it. We have a lot of our regular actors, but we're also looking for even new actors and actresses, people that perhaps want to get into it, or maybe have stage fright on stage, from a visible point of view. This gives people an opportunity to perform without maybe some of the stress or anxiety of being on stage.
And they don't have to learn all their lines, do they?
Well, it's yes and no. Yeah. I mean, yes, you could have a script in front of you because it's not visual, but also, you need to know the tone and intonation of the, actually in a way, it's almost harder to perform on radio because you lack the visual. And so your vocals has to be really come across in the intonation.
I just happen to have a friend back in the Kootenays that I've done a lot of things with over the years, and who's a playwright, a published author, and he's done some novellas and novels as well. And I remember doing some of his actual radio plays live back in the early 2000s, and so I thought of him and gave him a call, and sure enough, he was more than willing to share some of his projects with us.
With COVID, we have to look at different alternatives. We really, we have a large membership base, and we want to keep them as members, but we also want to be able to provide some entertainment to them. And I think, there are a lot of actors that have some recognition in the local community, and we want to be able to continue to showcase them. And I think people will be looking forward to the actors that we have.
I'm looking forward to hearing it. So, or can you give me a brief synopsis of the radio plays?
Well, the first one we're doing is called Triple Triple, and it's 4 people, and the gist of the story is they get together once a week to play a game of Scrabble amongst the 4 of them. General theme of it is what is there anything in your life that you haven't done yet that you really want to do, or some kind of event or something that you really wish would happen. It's a nice fun little thing to start with. Nice and light. Next one would be called The Chat. It's actually set at one of those observatory, like for observing things out in space, and where they listen for signals and to see if there's any life out there. And lo and behold, they do get a signal, and basically the chat is literally a chat between the 2 employees that discover this signal and the voice of this being that's out there somewhere. And then we have something called The Sirens. Got that underlying tension of windshield wipers and rain and weather and all that thing, and lengthy pauses of tension in between conversations. And it's the story of people that are trying to go over a mountain pass in the wintertime in a car, and they get caught in an avalanche and all these things that happen. It's an interesting story, but so that'll be a fun one. And then the other one we chose was a play called Blackout, and it's kind of apropos for a theater group to be doing. It follows the trials and tribulations of the tech crew working backstage during the production. And so it's actually kind of a play going on and over top of another play that's going on in the background. And so, of course, the play that's going on stage in the background that we hear the lines of is totally falling apart, and all the actors are forgetting their lines, etc., etc. Props arriving at the wrong time, set pieces showing up where they're not supposed to. That kind of thing is going on while the techies are having their own conversation. So it's just a half-hour peek into what goes on backstage, or what can go on backstage. So it's a fun one to do. And there's lots of voices in this one because of the fact you've got two plays going on basically at the same time. So yeah, we're looking forward to that one as well. And so that's pretty much the gist of what we're going to be doing for the next couple of months.
Since the cast is very small, we can do Zoom meetings, and then we'll have some in-person, with the social distancing, the mics, and that is very easy to do with 4 individuals, and we'll be doing that at the theater. And we're looking to launch the first podcast, and it's either going to be on a YouTube setup through our own website, or we're looking at even getting an app for a podcast so that we can create the podcast, and which would launch around January 9th also. What we're hoping to do is to launch these every other week. We also feel that we could have 2 plays concurrently being rehearsed and in production, because once again, we want to use a vast array of actors, a variety of actors, cast and crew, using different directors, so that the community can really see the local talent. We have to also be realistic. The theater is closed. There isn't revenue coming in, but we still have, fixed costs like rent and all those kind of things that come with it. So
Right.
We want to make sure that we can continue to be financially viable. So absolutely, we're looking for sponsorships of each play. So that would be a great help to get some leads on that, and looking for potential candidates to help sponsor it.
Ready? Good luck, Frank. Go.
And like I said, we have tons of enthusiasm from everybody, not just the actors, but cast and crew and members who usually come, maybe don't act or participate in the crew, but just want to come and see a show. There's lots of interest, so we're very excited about that.
Yeah,
I think that's
the
great.
way I picture this happening is people would be sitting by the fire with a nice glass of wine or a nice dessert after supper and listen to a podcast of live local theater. That's the way I picture it.
I'm really excited, and I see this as something that, post-COVID, there's no reason why you wouldn't want to continue it, because it just engages so many more people in the community, right?
Well, thank you very much for Marina for taking the time to.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you.
I miss the theater. I miss my glass of red wine, my 2 glasses of red wine that I would always have, and my chocolate bar and my bag of chips where I very silently try to eat.
Yes. But now you can do that at home.
I can, but I'll still miss
By
you.
the fire.
Yes, by my fire. All right, well, it's a delight. Looking forward to hearing you guys.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
bye.